I don't know if you guys know this, but the future of housing and our economy as a whole is in the incapable hands of the Federal Reserve right now. Yeah. So I ask this question of you, my dear plebeian patrons out there: to bubble or not to bubble? That is the housing question. Now, I showed you this last week. This was the 2008 housing bubble, but this bigger current bubble is not a bubble. Or is it a bubble? Well, the answer is just ask the Fed, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But first, our affordability and the DTA bubble?
At the height of the '08 housing bubble, average buyer back-end DTI got as high as 39.1%, the highest ever. And we know how that ended: foreclosure dire straits. Now, the new bubble DTI's current average is hovering right at 40%. That's right, we're now allocating more money to housing and debt than ever, even before the last crisis and the last bubble.
So if history teaches us anything, it's that if we had a crash before, we should have an even bigger crash now. This time, as more indications support that we are in a bubble of bulbous proportions. The question is that true?
The answer is...
it's complicated.
That being, it doesn't have to be a bubble. It's the Fed's choice.
Oh, that's right, the Fed. Sometimes you just want to splash hot bacon grease in that fella's face, don't you? You see, our debt-to-income ratios are higher now, and our mortgage interest rates are written at lower rates than they were back in 2008. And in all of this, we find ourselves currently in a rising rate environment. Now, this point would suggest that yes, this in fact is a bubble that we're in. Rates are going to go higher for buyers, and we'll hit the tipping point, and the houses of ours, the houses of cards, will come crashing down once again.
And here is where the Feds come in.
Okay, stick with us, guys, because as this was written yesterday, we had yet to see or hear the Fed's policy on the fund rate, but we're going to squint our eyes right now and read the future that you already know. It's that the Fed is probably going to raise rates today, probably by about 0.25%. That, of course, makes everything but mortgages more expensive and further pushes us towards an inevitable foreclosure and housing bubble popping.
But we're still not there yet. You see, what's lost between today's bubble versus the '08 bubble is that rates today are mostly fixed rate loans, whereas in '08, most all loans were fixed for only 2 to 3 years with untenable adjustments at the end of a very short term. Meaning,
though rates are going up right now and inflation is going up, see, we all can manage this market because our housing expense as a collective, it doesn't have to go up. All of our rates are fixed. So if buyers and sellers can affect our outgoing expenses and DTIs, then the bubble we're in does not need to burst this time. This is really kind of amazing if you think about it. We can individually control our collective economic outcome here, can't we?
How we end up with a bubble that pops is if the Feds continue down their prime rate raising efforts, which makes everything but mortgages more expensive. That means, and understand this, if we have a housing-based recession, it's because of the Fed and their policies and actions. Period. Our new average 40 DTI makes this clear. Higher expenses become the tipping point.
Yeah. It's not mortgage interest rates that could cause the next housing crisis.
Imagine that.
You see, we're on an event horizon from a policy-triggered recession. Now, for lenders and even realtors, if you've been listening here today, this is your takeaway. You can help your past clients responsibly combat the Fed's actions, whatever they do. You could also help those clients who got declined and help them get credit worthy for a future mortgage. And we're not talking about credit repair. No, it's math. There's a company called Mortgage Vigilante, and they calculate the clearest and fastest path to pay off all of your debt, including your mortgage. These guys sometimes work with your clients for years, and whenever the time comes for a move or a refinance, you through Mortgage Vigilante are the loan officer of record who's getting marketed to your past clients. So you retain your clients, you help your clients, and through Mortgage Vigilante, you can even get paid in the process. Guys, I implore everybody right now, watch this short video because of the Fed's action. This is a course of action you need to take to help your clients and help yourself with debt, inflation, and responsible home ownership. Thanks for watching.